Here are 5 steps California employers can take to reduce employment lawsuits. Clients are always asking, what steps can I take to reduce employment lawsuits or the threat of employment lawsuits here in California? So here are 5 steps that I recommend employers can take to minimize the employment liability here in California. Number 1 is implement an accurate and easy to use timekeeping system. A lot of the wage and hour claims rise out of disputes over employee timekeeping and the employer timekeeping policies. So employers need to keep accurate records and make it very easy for employees to clock in and out the beginning and end of their shift, as well as recording when they're taking their 30-minute meal breaks. Number 2, employers need to keep their employment handbook and other employment policies up to date. Now, generally about once a year, employers should be taking a look at these policies and updating them for all the new laws that are coming out. And actually coming into the end of 2021, we're going to know by the end of October what new laws are going to take effect in 2022, and employers can start looking at those and updating their handbooks at that point. But employers should be watching case law developments, and contact their employment counsel to see if there's any drastic changes that need to occur during the year as well, based on developments in case law or any emergency laws that are passed on the state level. Number 3, and I can't overemphasize this, employers need to document everything. And it's so important to train frontline managers about how to document employee performance issues, tardiness issues, all those aspects of running a business and managing employees needs to be documented. When conversations were held and what was said during those conversations, that documentation is key. It's much harder to defend a lawsuit when I get a personnel file that has 0 documentation in it, and we're trying to rely on the defense that the employee's performance was poor. It's very critical that California employers and their managers and frontline supervisors understand the importance of documentation of performance issues and when conversations were held. It's a critical aspect to defending any potential claims in California. Number 4, consider hiring an HR professional. Now, a lot of companies, I understand, aren't big enough to afford having a dedicated human resources professional on staff. But once you start getting to 20, 30 employees, it's critical to have an HR professional on staff that's dealing with employee complaints, payroll issues, following up with managers, and dealing with issues. Now, if you're too small or can't afford an HR professional, it's critical to reach out and work with a consulting. There's a lot of consulting companies that provide these services on an as-needed basis. So it's great to have this service, and even though you might have a good relationship with an employment lawyer, the day-to-day issues are handled by these great professionals, human resource professionals, and it's key to have somebody that knows California law and how to deal with these issues as they come up on a day-to-day basis. So number 5, and you knew I had to throw this in there, you need to get to know an employment lawyer and start working with him or her early in the process here in California. No matter what size of company you have here in California, you're going to be dealing with employment law issues, and you need to have an expert, an employment law attorney on your side that you know and you're confident and comfortable working with. Some benefits with working with a lawyer early before you need to actually retain a lawyer to defend the lawsuit is that lawyer gets up to speed on your policies and can help you draft those policies. And that's where I tell my clients our services are very valuable when we can get involved before a lawsuit's filed so that we can protect the company and set the policies up right from the start. And then you get to know the lawyer too, working with the lawyer and see if the lawyer has the same values you have and if you work together well. It's critical that you have a good relationship, working relationship with the lawyer, because once litigation is filed, you may be working with that lawyer quite a bit in defending any kind of lawsuits. So it's important to reach out, develop that relationship with an employment lawyer here in California. So that wraps up my 5 points on how to minimize employment lawsuits or employment liability here in California. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And as always, you can get more information on my blog at californiaemploymentlawreport.com.